Well, hello there. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Kamal, back at it again. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. He's a YouTuber and he has a very interesting style, and I like his style. I like his style a lot. But anyway, it's me. I am back from the abyss with an update. I know I've been promising this update for quite some time now, but the time has come for me to tell you what in the world has been going on in my life, where I've been, the bumps and bruises. It's time I shared my story. Well, I guess you're used to me, in this type of scene, building a boat out back in the yard, getting her done. Well, I miss that life. I haven't done that in a while. Yeah, I miss the smell of epoxy and the wood shavings. But some things have changed in my life, and I'll share it with you in just a moment. Hold on. I've been doing some sailing. This is in the Caribbean, so I've been doing what I love to do. Here's me in San Diego. But unfortunately, the dream of sailing had to take a pause because it became a little bit too much. And so in 2022 is when I finally get you caught up for the last 3 or 4 years. So this is me. Come out. 2022. A little bit more gray with a few more scars and scrapes, but nonetheless, I'm here, alive. I have survived the COVID, and actually, I'm thriving. And yeah, doing well. My family's well. My health is well. My job is well. Everything is well. Well, the boat's not so well. This is this is the boat, a mere glimmer of what it used to be. Um, the struggle of trying to build a boat outside just began to be too much, dealing with the tarps and the weather and just everything. I mean, the tarps kept failing. I couldn't work in certain conditions because it was too cold. And, eventually the wind was out of my sails. Well, pun intended, of course. And here are the ribs. I cut them off. And initially, the plan was to find a place, a warehouse or an empty garage or some place where I could build a boat in a conditioned space so I wouldn't have to fight the elements and fight squirrels and fight cats and fight the rain and weather where I couldn't work. It was too cold or too hot. Um, but I never did find a space to build the boat. But you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy. And I came up with a great plan. Instead of building a boat to eventually move to the Caribbean, why not move to the Caribbean and build my boat there? So in 2019, I turned 49, and in the midst of a continued midlife crisis, of course, that's what the boat was. I said, well, let me go somewhere else. I was looking for a house. Actually, I was looking for a house that had land so that I could build a shed to build the boat that looked in Western Maryland and parts of Southern Maryland. And I decided that, you know what? If I'm going to move, and I don't want to move too many more times in my life, I really want to be somewhere warm. The snow, I love snow, but having to go to work on it is the dregs. Having to shovel it is the pits. So I decided to, why don't I move somewhere where I really enjoy? And my favorite place on earth is the island of Jamaica, man. Yes. But um, I didn't want to live on an island because everything is more expensive on an island. So I said, well, there are other countries in the Caribbean that are actually land countries. Um, where could I move? What potential places could I go? And so, of course, there were 4 countries I thought of. The first being Mexico. Can I get to Mexico, please? Okay, my cursor's not letting me go to Mexico. There we go. Mexico. The first was Mexico. The second was Belize. The third country I was looking for was Costa Rica. And the final country I would consider is Panama. They met my criteria of being only a 3 or 4 hour flight away. They were actually land countries and not islands, pretty safe from weather. And yeah, had a decent economy and were relatively safe. I mean, considering what's going on here in the States, that's really not an issue. But yeah, so those were the 4 countries I decided to look at, to investigate during my 49th year before I turned 50. So again, Mexico, Belize, Costa Rica, and Panama. So I booked a ticket on the first thing smoking and eventually made it to Mexico. I had never been to Mexico, actually, and decided to visit the Yucatan Peninsula. I had some friends who had relocated to, what is it? Shoot, I forget the name of the city. Merida, I believe. It's not. It's a couple hours from Cancun, and actually a couple of other cities. But I decided to visit, Cancun. It's a quick flight and gave me the feel and vibe of Mexico, and it was absolutely beautiful. I loved Mexico. And this is Costa Mujeres, which is a little bit west of Isla Mujeres. And this is a Riu property there, a Riu Palace in Costa Mujeres. And as you see, absolutely stunning. This is a brand new property. It only opened maybe 6 months before I had visited there, and actually went back again last year with my family. But beautiful property. Had a great time. Stunning beaches, and because this property is behind Isla Mujeres, the Sargasso seaweed is actually pretty manageable there. It was very decent. And if any of you know, if you've traveled or studied the Caribbean lately, the Sargasso seaweed has become an enormous problem for a lot of the resort properties on the Caribbean. So yeah, I highly recommend the Riu Palace or Riu Dunamar in Costa Mujeres. Got a chance to hang out in Cancun and took one of those sunset cruises. And wouldn't you know it, I got stuck on a boat with a bachelorette party. Wah, wah, wah. Poor old Kamal. Well, yeah, we won't talk too much about that. But I had a great time. I got some sun, some fun. I got to hang out in Cancun and to soak up some of the vibes of Mexico. Arriba, arriba. Sorry, I'm not being racist. But ultimately, Mexico wasn't for me. I felt alienated. I think the language barrier really affected me, and I felt like I was an outsider. So yeah, I said, well, let me continue on. I had 3 other countries to investigate. Again, Belize, Costa Rica, and Panama. But like any story, there's a monkey wrench thrown in the plan. Dun, dun, dun. There's a woman. This is Elasir. Elasir was a good friend of mine, and we fell in love. Yeah, all good stories have a love story to them, right? And shortly thereafter, we were married. We had dated for a little while and had known each other for some years, and just decided to go ahead and get married, do the justice of the peace. And we were planning a big wedding later on. But this was in 2019. We are the perfect couple. Look at us. Look at that cheese. Oh my God. Look at that cheese. And we actually got a chance to visit one of my other countries I was considering moving to, which is Costa Rica, which was beautiful. Let me tell you, Costa Rica is a beautiful place. If you haven't been there, please go. And we were there for almost 2 weeks. We started in Guanacaste on the West Coast, And the Pacific side of Costa Rica has some of the most beautiful beaches I have ever seen. I mean, long stretching beaches with beautiful trees, beautiful white sand. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. And we drove across the country and spent time on the east coast of Costa Rica, which is Limon and Puerto Viejo, which actually has that Afro-Caribbean vibe I was looking for. You know, Jamaica is one of my favorite places in the world, and so had an absolutely fantastic time in Costa Rica. So Costa Rica was now number one on potential places to relocate. And so we took this trip in February of 2020, and we arrived back in Maryland on March 8th of 2020. And what do you know what happened the next week? COVID hit, and the world was forever changed. Yeah, COVID hit, and unfortunately, our marriage did not survive COVID. Um, my wife had her parents that lived with her, and she lived in another part of the state in Southern Maryland. And we were more than almost 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours away. And we decided to what is it, shelter in place. And a new marriage to be separated during a pandemic is not a good thing. Ultimately, our marriage did not survive. And actually, a little while later, her father actually passed from COVID-19. So it was a devastating time for not just us, but the entire world. So I was lost. You know, I had lost my mother a few years earlier, and then I had found love and had lost it. And the world was in the midst of a pandemic. So this is me. But you know what? The story continues, and there is a happy ending, or not even an ending, a continuance. So please, please stay tuned for the rest of the journey, and we will share it shortly. So as always, until next time, peace and blessings.